Hey everybody out in YouTube land. I have decided to try to start maybe making some crafting videos. And of course I've been inspired by many of you out in the crafting community. And I have absolutely no equipment, no camera, just my phone. No tripod or anything to hold it up yet because I wasn't sure how this was going to work. So I'm literally leaning my phone up against a box full of Christmas cards because that's how lame I am to start off with. But I may try doing a couple of these and seeing if anybody even has time to watch because there's so many other great people out there. But it's hard for me to find time to do this because I've either got noisy kids or noisy dogs or, you know, stuff going on just in general around the house that takes my time. So I thought that I would maybe make a Christmas journal. And it may be, I thought about possibly doing a December daily. I watched Elizabeth Brewer's video yesterday, and I loved how her December daily turned out. And I have a traveler's notebook, which I love, but I'm one of those people that I love the idea of planners or traveler's notebooks or whatever, but I just don't always have the time to spend creating, you know, layouts or even writing in them. But I have a journal that I've made where I've done some writing and some painting, just some watercolor backgrounds and things like that in it. And then I kind of had a place also where I did some very, if you could call this planning. This was a lot easier for me to kind of try to do than, I also have gone through the Happy Planner phase. There was so much space in there, and I feel like, I mean, I work a full-time Monday through Friday job, so I don't need to record my job schedule, really. So sometimes I felt like there was too much space to try to fill up. This is my little, I forgot, my little page marker. I guess you could also call it like a cluster. And then I used a little piece of elastic to hold my pin in, and this is some graphic 45 set of papers that I used to put this together, which I absolutely love. And then just, you know, choose to shine. And there's the noisy puppy. The door is closed, so he cannot come in. So one thing I did start doing was making my Christmas card list in here. So yay me. I'm struggling with squirrel, and then I did write down like November and then just try to write down like a few dates and jot some stuff down. It's really a lot easier for me to do this than it is to have a set layout of days of the week, and then I feel obligated to, I just want to get my face completely out of here altogether because I'm not ready for that kind of commitment yet. So what was my point? Yes, it's easier for me to just do something like that than it is to commit. Yeah, that word's coming up a lot, isn't it? I am a procrastinator, I guess, about a lot of things, and I've come to the conclusion in my crafting life that if I try to force myself, by the way, I love how that turned out. So pretty. The lighting in here is not that great either. I have like this lamp on the other side of the room. And then an overhead light that leaves much to be desired. So if I continue to do this and get, hopefully, maybe I'll get a little bit of support from, you know, some of you that I've seen around on other channels that we all watch. But I know it's hard to find time to watch more people's videos, and honestly, you'll probably learn more from Stacy over at Pink Poodle, and I've been watching Dawn over at Let's Make a Mess Today for quite a while, and I just love her videos as well. And I started out with Liz Drake, and I learned my whole Tangi Baxter junk journal kind of deal through her, and then kind of just started expanding out. So, I mean, those are just a few of the people that I watch often. Elizabeth Brewer, I've watched quite a bit lately. And then Marta over at Marry Small Art, of course. And when I want to learn something that's outside my comfort zone, and anytime I try to do any of the things that she puts on her channel, my project turns out with much to be desired. But that's how it goes, right? I mean, we got to start somewhere, and I probably don't invest as much time in it as some people are able to with a full-time job and full-time husband and full-time kids. And my son was busy with football at the beginning of the year. Of course, now it's the holiday season, which is probably the worst time to try to do videos. But so I've got all this Christmas stuff. I made a couple cards. A couple. So, I don't know. I guess my card making, my motivation to make cards, I think I have trouble with cards. I love mixed media, so I love being able to just throw paint down and, you know, do some stencils and play with different mediums and just put color down that I like, and, you know, add layers and add layers and add more layers. And I enjoy doing that, and I enjoy doing that when I have free time. So usually that works out because I can sit down and open up like an art journal, junk journal, whatever you want to call it. I think mine kind of all, my glue book, art journal, junk journal is kind of all one great big beast. So it's a little more than a fatty patty. It's fatty, gluey, painty patty. I don't know. She's out of control. The girl's insane. She gets that from me, so can't help it. But anyway, what was I talking about? You're going to get that a lot from me. Card making. So we bought boxed cards, and the majority of the cards I'm doing are going to be boxed cards. But I thought that there were a few people, my dearest friend that I went to high school with and her parents, that I wanted to make cards for, and then a couple of my really close coworker friends I wanted to make cards for. And for me, it was unfortunately grueling. I don't know if it's just because I don't do it enough to kind of have an idea and then plan it all out and make kind of a, the initial card, put it all together, see how it goes, learn from that, and then take that into cutting everything that I need, getting everything that I need all together and kind of assembly lining it. Maybe that's where I'm going wrong. I don't know. But, anyway, that was stressful for me, and I couldn't wait to just kind of get back to doing some kind of a journal thing. So I think I'm going to probably start with a cereal box, because normally that's kind of what I do. It's a cracker box or a cereal box or something to that extent. So, I'm going to try starting off with that and seeing how it goes. And you can follow along for the ride, and maybe we'll have a good time, and maybe we'll get to know each other, and maybe we can hang out once in a while. So I'll be right back with my stuff, and then we'll get this fancy little show on the road. Okay, we're back. I'm back. I don't know who we are, except for if you count the cat. So I'm going to make my Christmas journal out of an envelope. And by the way, I just had to say that I picked this envelope punch board up today when I was at Tuesday morning. I saw them last time I was there, and I've been eyeballing them for like months. I have a Cricut machine, but sometimes it's just kind of a pain in the butt to turn everything on and, you know, set it all up and find the right envelope that you want. And anyway, I'd rather just have a punch board, so I finally gave in and bought one today. But, besides the point, by the way, tomorrow morning, wake up and be awesome. Just thought I would share that with you because who doesn't want to wake up and be awesome? So, anyway, I'm not quite organized yet. I've got so much crap everywhere that I kind of got to move some of my crap to make room for working on this. And please excuse my really bad lighting and my camera angle. I am looking maybe into getting some sort of a tripod, but not there yet because I don't know how long I'm gonna last doing this. I've kind of been wanting to make videos for a long time, but I just hadn't started yet. And unfortunately, sometimes for me, I'm the kind of person that wants to do something really bad, so I start doing it, and then I get bored with it and don't follow through. And I'm also pretty busy with working and kids and all of that fun stuff. So sometimes it's just a challenge for me to find time to do things. And it may take me a week to record tidbits of video, enough video just so that I can put it all together and make one video. So, okay, Mimi, I'm scooting in. And I think that I've got a good angle here. And I'm not ready to show you my face yet because we're not that good friends yet. But I'll talk to you. So my tripod right now is a solo cup with a votive candle holder in it to weight it down. And I cut notches in the sides so that I could set my phone in it. So it's totally high class. Don't be jealous. Okay, so manila envelope. Bear with me here because I'm not organized at all. I just decided that I wanted to sit down and do this part of it tonight. So we're going to try. So, we're going to start out by, and I have to lift this from Lori Marie because I absolutely love the term underpants. So, typically in the past when I've made journals, I really haven't started off that way, but I'm going to go ahead and do underpants just because I like how it turns out. So we'll do underpants first, and then I will paint. And I guess the easiest way for me to do underpants is probably to get thinner paper since I'm going to decoupage. Because as we all know, the thicker paper, you know, it doesn't work as well with decoupage. I have some dictionary pages and some old book pages, so I can use that for some of it. And I've got all kinds of paper. I guess it really doesn't matter what I get out and use, to be honest, because it's all going to be painted over anyway. So I'm going through my scrap box here and trying to find some stuff that's not cardstock. Here we go. Graph paper. That'll work. Anything that is thinner. So, nothing I'm doing is new to any of you, I'm sure. You know, it's the same stuff that everybody else does that we like to watch, but it's fun to meet new people and make new friends and, you know, find new people to watch. And for some of us, it's probably, you know, we have limited time, so it's hard to watch everybody. So you kind of just try to make the rounds when you can, you know, and support the people that you enjoy because they're cool and, you know, they take a lot of time out of their day to put videos up, and it's just what we all do. All right, I think I got enough stuff that I can use for underpants. So, I'm just going to start tearing some paper here. Into different sizes. I hear a dog coming down the stairs. Luckily, the door's shut, so the dog can't come in. We have a 9-month-old pit bull puppy, and he is trying to get in the door. No, Finn, go upstairs. You cannot come in. I have wet paint on the floor. So I'm doing this. We're doing a door decorating contest at my office this year, and this is my first year there. I started this job in May, and so I work for a local government. It's fun. I've been working in the public sector for over 10 years now, so I've been doing that a while. I'm just tearing stuff. I don't even know what I'm doing. But anyway, so I came up with the idea of recreating Cousin Eddie from, you know, that movie, Christmas Vacation. So Cousin Eddie is the one who shows up unexpected in his camper full of his children and his Doberman. And I was going to recreate the camper, and we're going to do the scene where he is, looks like my husband came to collect the dog. We're going to do the scene outside our office door of, recreate the scene where he was standing outside dumping his sewage into the storm drain. And so I went to Lowe's and got extra large moving boxes, and I'm painting them. I'm going to basically paint them to, you know, look like the RV. So, that's a chore because, of course, I'm not wasting gesso on cardboard boxes. So, I bought a big old bottle of the Apple Barrel paint from Walmart of white paint because I'm starting with a white base, and I don't care how, you know, perfect the coats of paint go on because I was going to try to like rough it up anyway so some of the cardboard shows through so it looks rusty. I have like a picture I'm using as reference that I found on, you know, online. Google is your friend, right? And so I'm kind of going off of that. So apparently they already had like this 5-foot tall Santa Claus that they've used. You know, I realized the Mod Podge. Yes, like right. Yeah, I snort, by the way. The Mod Podge is like right in front of my workspace. That's helpful, right? Can't see nothing. So they already had this 5-foot tall Santa, I guess. Or I don't know if he's 5 feet, but fairly tall. And so we were going to go find like an old bathrobe from Goodwill and one of the, you know, that floppy eared hat that he wears. And put that on Santa. And then we're going to use some, I said, you know, came up with the idea of, Kitty, I don't know what you're down there doing. Wow. But stop, because it's annoying me. We're going to get some of that cheap, like, oh, you know, whatever, aluminum, tin foil, whatever. Okay, so I'm back. So funny story is that I'm totally learning how to do all this. And this is like the third day that I've tried to make a video. And I just don't have a lot of time. And the other night I was down here and I put all my underpants on my journal page. This is not going to be tall enough, is it? On my cover, on my journal cover, because I was trying to make a December daily, right? So now it's like December 3rd. Is it the 3rd today? Oh my gosh. And I'm still not done with it yet. So then I'm going to have all this catching up to do with my December daily. And there's so much going on right now. And I really just want to get a video up. And as technical as I am, unfortunately, I've never spent a lot of time doing any video editing, and I've already decided fairly quickly that I'm not sure that I like YouTube's video editor, mainly because, like, for me anyway, unless I'm just haven't figured it out yet, even trimming a video, like, once you try to trim it, then it takes, like, hours to, yeah, I gotta pull up my pants. That's sexy. I know, right? Then it takes an hour or hours to, whatever they call it, re-encode it or whatever. So, I might get a few free minutes without anybody bothering me, like the dog or the husband. Okay. My Christmas leggings are so cool. Yeah, okay. Anyway, so I basically spent 30 minutes talking the other night. And are you kidding me? Okay. This is pretty. So what I'm trying to do now is cast my phone screen to my computer monitor, since I have like no tripod or real camera with a viewfinder, so that I can see what's going on. So if I cast my phone to my computer, I can look over at my monitor and see what's going on. So that's kind of nice. Okay. So basically, I had spent all this time yapping the other night and then realized that I had it on Ultra HD or something. So I completely stopped recording after like 10 minutes. And I was so mad at that point that I just totally went to bed. And I was frustrated. So I was like, yeah, I still have a little bit to learn. So it's kind of a mess in here because I'm working on this big project for our door decorating contest at work, and I'll just show you. And I'm sorry for all the, noob camera effects. But so basically what I'm doing is I'm making the camper, the RV from Christmas Vacation, Eddie's ugly RV, where he's standing outside in his robe and flapper hat, dumping his pooper into the storm drain. So I bought like these boxes and I'm trying to paint them and add some more detail to them so that it kind of looks like a camper. Yeah, the idea was good. I don't know that the execution is going to be that good, but I'm trying to move slow so that you guys don't get a migraine. from watching this, and now I'm trying to get my phone back to my little notched. Here's my tripod. So yeah, everybody has to start somewhere, right? So we're starting somewhere. Okay, so I promise you I'm actually going to get something done. So I've put underpants on my envelope. So we're at least going to get this cover made, and then I've got all kinds of paper that I'm going to make my signatures out of. And we're going to get this thing moving along, man. I'm telling you. So I've been playing with some watercolor. Some of you have probably seen, if you're in the Creative Cafe on Facebook, you've probably seen Chip, my whimsical watercolor owl. He was inspired by Marta's video over at Marry Small Art on her creature cards. Yeah, I mean, the more I look at him, the more I kind of love him. I got a lot of positive feedback. Obviously, I don't practice painting much, but I have so much fun, and these are watercolor ornaments. I haven't, like, outlined them or anything yet, but I had some fun the other night doing that. So, we're going to slap some Christmassy colored paint. That's probably really not a great brush to use. So, I will use this one. We are going to just go along here, and we're just going to put some paint on, and it's not going to be smexy right away, but we'll get there. So, it's Monday today. Back to work after the weekend. That's amazing. Yeah, so, holidays are always super stressful for me, I guess. They're not near as fun as they were when I was a kid. And my kids' birthdays are also this week. So we have 2 birthdays, and we have Christmas. And, you know, that color green looks different in the bottle, but it looks exactly the same when I slap it on the page. I'm kind of wondering if maybe I should have thrown some gesso over this first, but I think there's Mod Podge on here, so I'm just going to paint right over the Mod Podge. You know, like for the longest time, I know that I had kind of learned that wasn't good, and if you were going to collage and then do other stuff over it, that you should use like matte medium, which is expensive, or gesso, which can also be expensive, and I have those things, and I did it that way for a while. But then, when I got into Lori Marie, I got introduced to her from Dawn at Let's Make a Mess Today. Love Dawn. Love her to death. I can't get enough of Dawn. She's my favorite. She's so funny. And so, I love a lot of YouTubers, but she reminds me of me because she's just so all over the place all the time. And I love that. And it makes me feel like somebody understands how I feel, especially when I try to create. Sometimes I have a really hard time either thinking, you know, that, oh, my work sucks, and it's not about that. I'm not trying to sell it in a gallery. I am just doing things that are fun, and I'll tell you, I've had a lot of things that have turned out really well that I've been in love with. And, you know, we have some things that are not so smexy. And I figure it probably would be a good idea to go ahead and plug my heat tool back in. So excuse me while I crawl under the table because my cord for my power strip is not long enough to reach up here to the end of the table. So that's how that's working right now. And I don't like to leave it unplugged during the day when I'm not here when I'm gone at work, because that makes me feel like that's an accident waiting to happen. So yeah. So I've been itching to try to get this done, but I've been really trying to push to work on my camper project, my Eddie's RV this weekend. So pretty much at this point, I'm dry brushing this on. I have not got my brush wet. I haven't rinsed it off. I haven't done anything. I'm just going through here and throwing paint on. And actually, so far, I'm really kind of liking how this is looking. It's just looking kind of messy. So that's the point. So I've been looking at tripods, and hopefully if I can find time to kind of, I look at this as kind of getting on and hanging out with you guys and kind of sharing what I do, the way that some of you who have inspired me have shared what you do. And that's all I want, just to kind of hang out and get to know people better. You can get to know people by kind of watching them on YouTube, and commenting and being a part of the Facebook group. And yeah, that's awesome. But I kind of wanted to share my quirkiness and my messes and, my life, with anybody who's willing to put up with watching me, I guess, is how I would say that. So, yeah, here I am. So I'm hoping to do this rather consistently. Sometimes it's hard with kids, and we have a 9-month-old pit bull puppy. And he is I think he's in his terrible twos right now. He's just a freaking mess. Gosh, he's a mess. So I am going to, I think I'm going to use this, so I took one of these, where's my camera? This was like a wax melt holder from Walmart, and I thought that these would be cool to make a stamp out of. And then I also thought that it would be cool to put my bubble paper on the back. That way I have something that I can hold on to stamp with. So that was one of my homemade stamp creations, right? So it works, pretty well for adding some spots and dots. So we're going to do gold, because I always like how gold looks with Christmas colors. I always think it adds some, and I used a little bit of that metallic red in there too, along with my other 2 shades of red. So yeah, I feel like this is pretty smexy at the moment. So I'm gonna dry this, and so the scary part is that after I finish recording all this, then I gotta try to edit it. So I gotta try to put video clips together, and eventually I'm gonna need some kind of an intro screen, probably an ending screen, and those are the things that are probably gonna take forever. But I figure if I can get some video done, then I can start working on that part. So I'm probably going to speed this part up if I can figure out how to do that. Or, bleep it out. Yeah. So basically getting this nice and dry. And I definitely feel like I lost a lot of my green. So I'll probably go back in maybe and add a little more green. Red definitely overpowered the green, which is not surprising. It happens, man. So I'm going to get my trusty card out here and pull some of this paint off of here. And scrape it down. Okay, So that added some green back into it. Okay. I guess I'm going to dry that. So yeah, basically at this point I'm just making a background, and once I actually kind of get it folded and then like put together a little bit, I'm probably going to, I found this really cool, we got this postcard in the mail with this cool looking penguin on it, and I might use him, these yellow parts down here are irritating me that I didn't quite get, so I'm going to go down here and cover these up. Yeah, so, I guess I probably need to do something to the other side of this as well, to the inside. So I may just end up Mod Podging some Christmas paper down on that. One of these was damp from my earlier, the cleaning up of the slime mess that my daughter had made. Okay. Which meant I came downstairs and caught her sitting at my computer with her slime tray right in front of it, and I'm really not interested in her getting slime on my laptop or my monitor or any of that. So yes, that would not have made me happy. And yeah. Dry now. Okay, so I'm thinking this is looking pretty cool. I'm loving how I've got, oh my gosh. I'm loving how I've got some words up here sticking out. I really like that. So yeah, I'm obviously, until I get a tripod where I can mount my phone above me, I'm just gonna, I apologize for not being completely in the frame if that happens. So yeah, I remember being totally excited about this great big laminated calendar. My husband brought it home at the end of last year from work, because I was like, oh, I can cover my table with that, and I can get paint all over it, and it won't matter. And it'll actually like make its own kind of artwork. I don't know if I would say that, because it looks pretty messy, but it's a good way to protect my investment. We bought our house almost a year ago. We closed on December 15th of last year. So I was so excited to be able to get a room. And then in the spring, we bought tables from IKEA, and some drawers. Excuse me, I must have a sip. And, yeah. So, for a while I was in here all by myself, and I had several tables. I have 3 tables. I have 2, like, straight tables, and then I've got this curved one that I'm sitting at that kind of joins the 2 straight ones together, so it's kind of like an L shape, I guess, with a curve in the middle. I just cut some of the envelope, didn't I? And stuck my hand in paint. That is awesome! Yeah. So, and then, so my husband is going back to school and to get his degree. And he was, so we have like we have a great big utility room, and there's kind of like space in there where he had room to put like his desk and stuff and make an office there. But it was super cold in there because like probably needs to be some more insulation in that room or something. And then he moved in here and started sharing this room with me. And I love him dearly. Sometimes, yeah, not very often, but sometimes we play computer games together. Oh no, these things are a pain in the butt to take off. So not only do I like to craft, but I am the nerd that also likes to play like online RPGs. So I like to play like Elder Scrolls Online is a game that I enjoy playing, and I don't know, do I just want to do like one? Is that an envelope fail or what? I'm not sure what's going on there. I've got plenty of scraps though, so this should not be an issue. And I guess I need to keep my flap open, because I'm thinking that I usually end up using the flap when I fold the journal in. So I think what I'll do, I don't need gesso right now. What am I doing? I need Mod Podge. This is Art Minds decoupage glue sealer. I mean, I don't have any problem with how it works. It seems to work just fine for me. So I've got a lot of scraps because I had made some envelopes on my Cricut. So I think maybe I'll put the odd shaped ones down first. And then, boy, that jar needs cleaned. And I guess you probably don't want it right in front of the camera, do ya? Kitty? Meow. Mimi, stop playing with my camper. You know how cats are with boxes. Yeah. I don't need that. Okay, so I really want to use this other brush over here. These are the brushes I've been using to paint my camper with. And I've been real bad. I've literally just been like putting them back in water, and they've been like that for days. And luckily none of them are like brushes that are just like, well, my purple handled brushes I really like, but these are cheapy. They work really good for putting on. I guess these are pretty much my glue brushes, although usually I can get them clean enough that I will do, I'll paint with them too. I'll do larger washes. So I think what I'm going to do is just go ahead and put like these sheets down and cover the majority of it, and then I will probably go back and gesso over them, I think. Just to kind of make sure, and then maybe throw in some paint, because I want to make sure the manila or yellow or whatever color this is gets covered up as much as possible. So this is kind of where I just pile this stuff on here. This is some old scrapbook paper that I've had forever, and I used it to make some envelopes for so I think I talked about this in the last video, but since it stopped recording after 10 minutes, pretty sure I was talking to myself the whole time. But yeah, so I made like a few handmade Christmas cards, and the first one literally took me like an hour, and I was just so frustrated by that time. I don't think I'm just not that great of a card maker. I love the fact that with like mixed media and like junk journaling and stuff, that I can pretty much just do anything, and there's no rules. And I still feel like card making, for me at least, most of the time is still a little too strict, or I feel like things have to be a certain way and perfectly aligned, unless I make some kind of a mixed media card, which is fine. I mean, I guess I can do that okay, but anyway. So the struggle was real that day. I made one card, and I just remember being so frustrated by it that I was like, oh my gosh, there's no way I'm going to make even like 5 cards, because, I mean, there are some specific people that I wanted to make cards for. My niece being one of them, because she's very crafty too, and she's into all different kinds of art. She's in planners, and she's great at making cards. She can literally, like, she posted on Facebook and asked for people's addresses, and they're like, she's like, you send me your address and I'll make you a card. And I'm like, oh my god, I mean, you could have like 90 people give you their address, and then you have to make 90 cards, and how do you have time to do this? Because the thought of that makes me cringe. I couldn't do it. I can't. I don't know. So yeah, I'm not a great card maker. There are times where I, like, you know, make one card for a special occasion for somebody special, and that usually goes okay because I'm making one card. So I guess even the idea of 5 cards was rather overwhelming. So yeah, they're done now. I'm not exactly thrilled with how all of them turned out. There were a couple that I liked. But yeah, then I've been working on this RV thing and trying to keep up with, YouTube people. I haven't even watched Elizabeth Brewer's December dailies yet, and that was kind of the whole reason why I decided to do this, because I haven't made a junk journal yet in the couple of years that I've kind of been following those kinds of crafters, and I still haven't made. I've got a couple junk/art journals that I work in, but I haven't made any themed ones yet. And Christmas and Halloween would definitely be like my absolute favorite ones to make themed journals for, and yeah, it just hasn't happened for me yet. So this was going to be my journal for my December daily, so that's what my plan is for this. Once I get it done, I bought an 8.5 by 11 paper pad. I've kind of stopped buying 12 by 12 paper pads because I don't do 12 by 12 books anymore like I did back in the day. And most of the time, you know, it's cheaper to get the smaller paper pads. I prefer like the 6 by 6 because usually for me and the projects I do, most of the time that's enough. So I've stopped kind of buying unless I can't find that design in a smaller size. I don't buy. Anyway, so I the only size they had, this one particular pack in at Hobby Lobby was 8.5 by 11. Definitely brought back memories of the days of scrapbooking back when we were doing it on 8.5 by 11 paper, and I was popping those layouts in 3-ring binders. So it'll work out perfectly because I should be able to use that paper and not have to do a lot of trimming down to make signatures for this. And I'll tell you, that's one thing where I'm lazy. Last time I made a journal, I just decided to go ahead and bind it flow style, so I didn't sew the signatures, or even a lot of times I will just staple them even, because I am so lazy. And I really don't have any good thread to sew them with. I've got this cheapy red and white twine that the minute you try to stick it through the eye of the needle, it just like splits, and then the red and the white come apart. This was like dollar spot twine from Target. So, yeah, that's frustrating. So I didn't really want to mess with that anymore. So I was kind of done with that. Oh yeah, this is this cool picture I was telling you about. It's this penguin, and it's like a, this is gonna ear. There we go. Look at this. It came from our zoo, maybe. Yeah, it came from our zoo, and I just thought he was freaking adorable. So he's gonna go somewhere in this journal. May not be on the cover, but I was kind of thinking he might look cute on the cover. So we'll see. Who knows? So yeah, I'm still adding layers, and I'm still talking. So yeah, I mean, I'll forewarn you now, for those of you that actually might come watch me, that yeah, I'm a gabber, and I'll be doing a lot of talking. So yeah, I like to talk. I probably don't, I must not spend enough time talking at work. We've always got so much going on, and we're busy, and I have a couple of good friends at work that I talk to, but of course then I come home and there's always, I don't know, you know, my husband's probably like, "Hey, will you ever shut up?" I'm a gabber. And this jar is a mess. Oh my goodness. We are going to clean this off. Ugh, gross. Anyway, hopefully I can get it open without any problem next time. So, I don't want to mess with the lid right now. I'll do that later. Yeah. So I'm not very good always about keeping my stuff clean. Sometimes I'll clean it up later. Right now, I want to get this, at least get the cover done and get that up as a video, and then I can start working on the signatures, and I may just go ahead and put them together off camera. I don't know. Maybe I could start doing those now while this is drying. There's an idea. Gosh, I'm schmert. Clearly, I am no expert at this. Okay, so I don't do measurements. I'm terrible at them. I usually end up eyeballing it and then trimming things 14 times. Just the other day, I measured something, and it was like something in 7/8, and so I had to sit there and count the lines. Okay, so we should be good there as far as width, because my paper, this is 10, what is this? It's like a 10 by 13 envelope, I guess. I don't know, is that a normal envelope size? Oh, looks like 10 to me, just under 10. Okay. And my bigger pad of paper here is 8.5 by 11. So, yeah, I should be able to make my signatures out of this. So I'm going to set this aside for a little bit, because I can at least get my paper picked out. And we can go through this paper pad together, because it's super cute. Super cute. So this was the Happy Holidays collection from Hoppy Sloppy. Yeah, Hobby Lobby. So there's so much cute paper in here. And it's only one-sided paper. So I figure maybe I'll organize it so that I do... so So I'm just going to start taking, and of course, what makes this hard too is that this is like, I guess it's more like cardstock. So I'm probably just going to, maybe I'll just do signature covers with this, I guess, and then just find some, I'm going to have to find some floppier paper, because I do recall, although if I do a flow style journal and don't try to like sew these, they won't be so bad. You're going to laugh when you see my method for sewing, because see, to punch my holes, I use like this small screwdriver, because this is how, I can't even find the screwdriver. I don't have an awl. I need to get one. That would probably make that a lot easier. But the screwdriver works pretty well. And it would work a lot better if I could find it. And clearly, I'm not prepared either. You know, I should have prepared ahead of time and had every single possible thing I was going to use out. Yeah. So, I guess I'm just going to pick out, and really, I mean, this can't be huge because it's just an envelope. So, I really can't have like 4 signatures in there because I'm not going to have enough. Oh, I should probably try to be smart and score it so that I have a little spine, and then that's a lot of work. Okay. See how lazy I am? So I'm already sitting here going, what am I going to do? Let's go for 2 signatures in this one. And because I'm just not sure how this is going to work out. So what I'm thinking then, since I really need to use some thinner paper, which I have a little bit of in this pile over here, that maybe I will just use either got a bunch of loose leaf notebook paper, which I used to make, it's kind of cool. I needed a new notebook insert for my traveler's notebook, so I decided to try to make one. And so I used, this is my cover, and it's all sparkly. I don't know if you can really tell. Maybe a little bit. Okay. And then I used notebook paper because I had so much of it. But I watercolored it. And what I did was I just watercolored like one side of the page and then closed it and smushed it together. And I just kind of kept going through and doing that. And so, yeah, I know the lines running vertically down the page aren't really like optimum. Yeah, I like how that one turned out. Yeah, it's really hard to see. My lighting is terrible, so that's something else I would have to invest in here is lighting. But anyway, so I figure by the time you glue stuff in here and do your journaling and stuff, nobody's really going to give a crap that, well, I mean, it's mine. I'm not making it for anybody else, so I guess I don't care if they give a crap or not. I was totally excited about these. My dad recently moved in with us like 3 or 4 months ago. And my mom has been gone for several years, but she used to get this Ideals magazine. I'm sure some of you have seen these before. So she had a bunch because she kept all of them. So I was just going to take all of them and a lot of her old books and stuff so that I could use for journals and things. And I had to tell myself not to take everything, because, you know, I don't have room for it either, but I'm going to go ahead and pick you up and just, I wanted to just kind of show you how cool these, magazines are. These are like the Christmas books that you get, and, there's some really cool pictures in here. And so I either thought about, you know, cutting some of these pictures out. Oh, that was terrible. Oh, no, it wasn't. Okay. I had a notification pop up on my computer screen, or on my phone, and I'm guessing it's not going to record that. I hope not. Anyway, so there's tons of cool pictures in here in these books, and I've got some for every holiday. And I thought either, I could take pictures out of here. That's so pretty. Or I could actually alter the book itself. I've seen a couple of people do that. That's really cool. Again, sorry about my video quality. I realized I can't record on my phone in 4K, which I don't think that really matters for YouTube, because I'm not sure many people really post crafting videos or watch crafting video. Oh, look at that. So cute. Oh, I just love the vintage. I hung a bunch of little vintage pictures on my office door at work that I found on the internet, and I'm just so in love with them. I just love the vintage stuff. So anyway, I've got these, so I thought maybe I could use some stuff out of here in my journal, in my junk journal / December daily. Yeah, we don't want to see me there yet. We're not ready for that yet. We're not that committed in our relationship. So, come on. I made my grooves too big in my makeshift tripod. Hey, you gotta give me credit for being cool enough to make a tripod like that. So I'm gonna come over here and see what kind of crap paper I have. Yeah, I said the crap paper. My daughter left a mess of glitter when she tried to put her stuff away that she makes slime with. So anyway, what I'm trying to do is find some non-cardstock paper so that I can, which I've got tons of it somewhere. I guess I also have the option of using, I had already cut down a lot of old, crappy scrapbook paper that I didn't like, and I was using that to jelly plate on. So I guess I could get a stack of that out. And then, after I put the book together, I'm going to have to go through here and go through there and paint gesso and paint over that ugly paper anyway. So yeah, I think what I'll do is I will stop this and get my paper together so that I can and get it trimmed down, and I might just go ahead and make the signatures, and then I'll come back to do the, I guess maybe the decorating of the pages, like the painting and the inking, or I'll figure something out. Yeah. Again, you'll have to forgive me because I'm not really organized, I guess. So, yeah, here's my middle table. And then over there's where my computer table's at. And then I've got a closet, and there's Mimi. Hi. Say hi, Mimi. What you doing, pretty girl? Her name is Miranda Jane. I call her Mimi for short. Mimi says hi. My leggings have puppies on them. They are so cool. I'm in love. Yeah, and here's my other table over here. That's where I started recording the video, but now that I've got these big old boxes back here, there's no room to fit my chair. So yeah. I got some shelves up there. It's kind of my stuff up there too. And then I've got stuff over there. And there's a bookshelf back there behind those boxes with more stuff on it. And another closet there with, guess what? More stuff in it. Yeah. And then, I don't know why I'm doing this now. Everybody likes a craft room tour, right? But we'll do a more intense one at some point. That is my washi tape collection. And that is my paint. Probably hard to see with the lamp. The lamp. I don't know if that makes it easier to see or not. Yeah, the lighting in here is terrible, so I need to get like a craft light over my desk. But I made that shelf. Originally, I made it for ribbon. And then I was trying to find a better way to store my paint. And I realized that the paint would fit on there good. Like the shelves were tall enough that I could fit those bottles of paint. There's my Jane Davenport paint collection. My daughter bought me that for my birthday. And then I got all I love these too. They're so fun. Yeah. The Sparks, the Prima stuff, Finnabair stuff. Yeah. It was like on sale I got it 80% off at Michael's. So I got 2 sets of that. And of course my Dilutions paint, which I also love. Anyway. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on here. And yeah, there's paper, more scrap paper, more stuff. Unfortunately, I have to share the closet with my husband's coats that he wants to keep, but never wear, like NASCAR. He used to be big into NASCAR and go to all the races and all that stuff. So, okay, I'm gonna figure my signatures out, and then I'll be back after that. Because I'd kind of like to actually get this journal made in one video. So I'm going to try to get this done tonight so that then I can spend 3 days trying to figure out how to edit it. And then hopefully post it on YouTube, which would be awesome. So, okay. I will see you in a bit. Yeah. Okay. So I found some paper. And like I said, I'm just going to use some old scrapbook paper that I don't like anymore. And it's going to be a little more work because I'm going to have to paint over it. All because we're talking like orange and stuff that's not Christmassy. But it will serve the purpose of making pages. So, I need pages for, we're going to try to get to as close to 31 pages as possible. Counting is hard. Okay, so here we go. We're cutting these down to 8.5 by 11. And, it won't be perfect. I mean, we'll see how well it turns out. But basically, I'm just going to stack my paper up. And I found this cool music note vellum, which I love. And I found me a doily that will probably go in to make a pocket or something somewhere on a page. I haven't really ever been so good at doing pockets, and I probably won't completely decorate it ahead of time and add pockets and stuff. I'll probably kind of do that as I go, depending on what I want to write about, and I'm terrible at writing in journals. I have a happy planner, and I have a recollections planner because it had a llama on it, and it was super cool, and I had to buy it. And I did some spreads in those. And then I really liked the Traveler's Notebook idea. So I've got a couple of those. And I'm definitely not good at journaling every day. I have last year for my birthday, I had money and I bought myself an HP Sprocket so that I can print out little pictures, and I love it. But again, it's just, I don't sit down every day and put an entry in. I actually found out it kind of works better for me if I just, I like using the grid paper. So I have like a grid notebook in my traveler's notebook. And so what I did, I hadn't written in it for like a long time. And so, and I also was kind of using that as a planner as well, because I liked, okay, story about this music sheet. I'm squirreling on you here. And I can't believe that I'm actually like tearing it up, but this, so I used to play when I was in school many eons ago. I was a band nerd. I started playing clarinet in 5th grade, and then I continued to play through high school. And then during that time, I also learned other instruments. So I learned how to play the flute and the oboe and the piccolo. And I had a little bit of exposure to like saxophone. See, these aren't going to turn out the correct size because they have these little thingies on the end, and I'm just going to go ahead and be prudent and cut those off. Anyway, and so this music came from this piece that I played for contest. Every year I would kind of learn a different movement of it, and that's what I would play for contest. And it's the concerto for clarinet. Anyway, that's where that music came from. So it actually kind of has a little bit of a personal meaning to it. So it's kind of cool because I don't know that I'll actually remember that when I'm flipping through the journal. You know, I probably had some other of this paper that had this crap on it and didn't even think to cut it off before I measured my 11 inches. But you know what? That's fine. That's what scissors are for. And when I get this put together, if I want to trim it off later, then power to me to do so. And I think there's actually enough room in there's going to be enough space that I can probably leave it. And it wouldn't even matter. I'm also really bad about cutting paper. Like, no matter how hard I try, it seems like that I can't ever cut it straight. And that's frustrating too. This cutter is a lot better than my old one. I had one that I think the arm was like kind of bowed, and so it would move on you a little bit when you tried to cut with it. And that definitely doesn't help matters. So I didn't even count how much paper I got out. I just got out stacks. So I guess really I only need like 15 sheets, and that would make 30 days. I mean, I can put more than one day on a page. I mean, who would have thought? And I'm not going to set my expectation for myself too high, because I can almost guarantee that no matter how hard I try, I'm not going to record a memory every day or write something every day. So at least maybe if I can just, you know, if I miss some days, go back and glue some pictures in. But the point of this is supposed to be a December daily. Like I said, I mean, I know a lot of people do it, but I saw that Elizabeth Brewer had been making journals the last couple of years. So, and she has already posted some videos of her December daily journal that she's made, and she's already done her first 3 days, I believe. I haven't watched them yet. There's too many of you I love to watch. And I was happy to see that Liz Drake had a vlog up today. I miss her art videos, but I understand that she's also a lot like me. She's like, I bounce back and forth sometimes between things, and sometimes I just don't feel like doing things that I used to really enjoy doing. So I just go with the flow, and whatever happens, happens. So, yeah. But I used to enjoy her art videos, and I enjoy all her videos. I've been watching Liz long enough that I enjoy watching her vlogs and hearing about what's going on in her life. I'm happy that she got a job that she likes, and probably makes her feel like she's got, something to do in the winter when she's not doing a summer job. So that's cool. And of course, Dawn I watch all the time, and I was totally excited that Dawn had her organizing videos up. I guess I need to cut these down because they're not 8.5 by 11. So I've watched Dawn's vlogs lately where she's been kind of trying to purge her craft stuff down and to prepare to move to her forever home. So that's awesome. I've enjoyed that because that's really about the first time she's done something quite that. She's done vlogs before, but I think that's the first time I've actually seen her craft space. But I may not have seen. I try to go back and watch the old videos like previous to me discovering the people. There's just so many. There's so many of you. And what happened here? Okay, it's just not. Okay. So, I'm going to show you the cheaty way that I do this because I'm too lazy to sew. And I don't want to poke the holes and then line them up with the journal. Okay, so we're going to do it this way, and I'm not going to whine about it. I'm going to have me a swig of Schlepsy, though. And I'm not going to complain about it or make a big deal about it because it's just the way that it is. And I will at some point sew some signatures. I can do it. Everybody knows how to do it. It's not that I don't know how to do it. I'm too lazy. I'm lazy, and I just want to get these things put together and get to the fun part, which is, putting it all together, and this isn't even going to fold straight. Okay. This is why this is frustrating, because see, I thought I had this all lined up to cut it straight. Clearly, it no be straight. That's alright. We're not going for perfection here, and if I'm really that worried about the edges not lining up exactly, that's when you glue some ribbon or lace on the end and say, perfect. Yeah, you heard me. Don't report me. I said earth. Can't get me for that. So yeah, obviously none of these are two-sided either. So the backs are going to be white, which is fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, when I put them together, I'm going to alternate pattern side up, pattern side down. That way at least it should be mixed. So I'll have like the goal is to have like a blank page next to a printed page where I can. for the most part, so that the white pages are already ready for me to just throw some color on and write whatever I choose to do. So luckily this paper is at least, you know, it's not cardstock, but it's at least thick enough that I could probably have some decent luck throwing some watercolor down for color. I've been loving the Crayola oil pastels. They are so nice. I had a set of the Michaels brand, the Artist Loft ones, these, and I, you know, watched a couple videos when I first got them, and, you know, about how you're supposed to be able to, like, put, you know, 2 or 3 or 4 colors down and blend them, and I'm like, these do not blend at all. They did not blend for me. Like, they just don't. I don't know what's wrong with them. I was going to try maybe seeing if I could get them to blend with some Vaseline. I actually had decent luck with I had a wine cork that was like rounded at the top. And on decent paper, they will kind of blend using the cork. But not very well. And I just happened to be at Walgreens one day picking up a prescription and getting a greeting card, and I saw the Crayola oil pastels, and it was like a set of 12 for like $2.99 or something like that, or 18 of them or something. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna try these just for giggles. And I brought them home and I tested them out on some junk mail envelope. And I was so happy with how creamy and smooth they are. And I was like, I've got to find the bigger set of these that has more color. So I found those at Hobby Lobby, and I think there's 24. Where is they? 28. Ooh, 28. And they were $6.99. And I love them. They're fun. So anyway, I even use them to like kind of go around the edges of things and then just kind of smear them with my finger. And you kind of get that, you know, edgy look. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But so yeah, I like them a lot. And so I have a friend that I work with at my job, that I got her into the junk journaling, art journaling, whatever, all of the above kind of thing. And so anyway, she came over last weekend, and she had like, when she first went and bought supplies to like kind of start a journal, she bought a cheap set of watercolors from Michaels, which I have a couple of those, and she bought a couple of the distress sprays, or I think she got the Tim Holtz ink sprays. She got like a package of those, and anyway, when she came over, she wanted to learn how to like decoupage, and so she remade her journal cover, but I introduced her to those oil pastels, and she had so much fun just adding color to her pages, so that then she could, you know, put pictures or collage on them or whatever. And so I sent her home with my small set. It's rare for me to find people in real life that want to like just come hang out and craft. I don't really have many friends that are into that. My niece is into it, but she's really busy all the time. I'm not sure that she really likes hanging out with me all that much anyway, because I'm old and she's young, so whatever. So yeah. So I was thinking, and see, of course, I did this all wrong. If I folded them all the same way, what I should have done is folded them different ways, right? So I need to go through here and fold this back the other way. Is this going to work? No, that makes it worse. I do want to do it this way. Never mind. So as you can tell, I'm real smart. It is after 9 o'clock at night, and I've been up since 5 o'clock this morning, so, you know. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, 5, and I don't care what order these go in, 6, because I'm going to 7, paint them and stuff anyway, 8, I mean, okay, I'm so confused. Yeah, so either way, I'm going to have a white page next to a pattern page. That's fine. Did the dog come downstairs? I thought he was sequestered in the bedroom with my husband. I need to put a sign on my door that says, recording, do not bother me, but I don't think the dog would read it. 1. Okay, I'm not even going to count them. Close enough. Yeah, so he's good. He's good and housebroken generally. We do have some issues every once in a while with him marking in the basement, and he's been fixed. But we don't come down here a lot. Like, we have a family room down here, and it's all decorated for Christmas, and we have a Christmas tree down here too. And it kind of, when we first moved in, this is where we spent all of our time, because we didn't have a TV upstairs. And then we bought a TV upstairs in the living room. And also, since my dad moved in, his knees are bad, so he has a hard time getting up and down the stairs. So we kind of just started hanging out upstairs more. So the dog spends more time upstairs. The dogs, we have 3 dogs and a cat. But the puppy specifically, I mean, we spend more time upstairs. And so every time he comes downstairs, it seems like he, marks. And I think it's just because he's not, he doesn't come down here all the time. And he's still trying to, I don't know, it frustrates me. I'm tired of shampooing the carpet. But I bought some no marking spray. And so I've kind of been reading some advice on how to handle it. So we came downstairs last night, and I turned on the TV, and, he brought a couple of his toys down with him, and he did a really good job of, and I also brought treats down so that I could, that one of the things I read said, play with them in the place where they like to mark, and, give them treats, and, if you see them getting antsy and sniffing around, distract them. And so we did all that. And so for 2 days we've been good. But when I'm back here in the craft room, and since all these boxes are in here right now, there's nowhere for him to really come in here and lay down. We used to come in here and then shut the door, and his bed was in here, so he would just lay down while we were doing whatever we were doing. But, yeah, like right now, if he comes down the stairs, I'd have to get up and go see what he's doing. And hello, kitty. What you doing? So I'm going to staple these from the middle so that the pointy edges are on the back side, because they're going to be against the journal anyway. And I guess I really can't do that until I put my. I guess I need to put my cover on, and then I need to find my little. I'll probably bend the staples down with this stick thing. There's a word for it. Bone folder. There's a word for it, but I can't remember. Okay, and I'm not always great at getting these in here straight either, but So what's supposed to happen is if you staple with a washcloth on the bottom, I hope you can't see me. It's terrible. You will never subscribe. The staples will go through your paper and should poke out on the other side, and then you can just bend the prongs over. So ideally that's what you want. Of course, it didn't go straight through the fold, which that's fine. This is a junk journal, and I'm not trying to sell it to make money off of it. This is for me, and I don't practice this stuff often enough because I just don't have the time that I want to commit to it. So I've not perfected it yet. That staple did not go all the way through. So we're going to try that one again. And see if we can get this to just keep bending. This one does not want to go through. I'm having a... Well, that one just popped right out. Well, listen here. Pain in my butt. The first one worked just fine. Maybe I should be just a smidge gentler. There we go. Hallelujah. So then I'm just bending these prongs down. And yeah, it's funny how I stapled right in the crack on the inside, and then it comes through like 1/8 of an inch off the fold on the outside, but whatever. So it's stapled all the way through, and there's a signature. Again, obviously, and I just about like totally killed myself on this staple, so that's why I like to do it this way, because it's going to be in the spine of your journal, and then you don't have to worry about running your finger down the middle. And I remember the days of piano lessons when I would turn a page of the book and then put my, run my finger down the middle to flatten it out up on the music stand, and get my finger caught in the staple, and it was nasty. So there's one. And these are pretty thick signatures too, so it would be a little easier to staple these if they were not quite so thick, but that's all right. We'll get it done. It's still quicker than watching me try to thread a needle and poke holes and then sew through holes, and then nobody wants to see that, at least not today. Let's get to know each other a little better first, and then we'll consider it. So I think some of the trick too is just making sure that you get straight down, because if you're off just a little bit, then it's gonna smush your stapler, not your staple. This is not the highest quality stapler either. I've been kind of thinking about either getting a long reach stapler. I know Liz has one. They also have like a poster stapler thing at Michael's, where I guess it's magnetic, so you can put it anywhere. You can put the bottom underneath and the top, like it's magnetic, so then you can place it anywhere on the page or anywhere on your project and staple. So you'd have that staple plate on the bottom. And every time I go and I've got money to spend, I think about buying one of those so that I can do this, because yeah, I know. And it would be a bigger deal to do the binding if I was actually altering a book and it had like a thick spine and I wanted to do the binding for, decorative, which I don't have a lot of experience even doing that. I've watched it a million times. This one turned out much better. It actually pretty much stapled on the fold like it was supposed to. Okay, and then I need another piece of this paper that I stuck back over here, because I have a third one. A third signatory. What did I do with those loose sheets that I thought that I just stuck them back in here somewhere. There we go. I think I'm going to go with the Christmas lights. Okay. Rinse and repeat. Fold. Do this flatteny thingy. There's probably a word for it too, and I just don't remember it right now. Stick my thingy inside this thingy. Put the stapler on the towel after you find the center. Okay. Staple. This is just so hard for me to see anyway. Like, my eyes are not the best. I was born with some kind of strange birth defect, I guess. Anyway, so depth perception is not my strong point. And judging distance is not totally easy for me either. Not to mention that my eyesight's just not that great. And there's nothing they can do about it. So luckily it's not like a degenerative condition. It's kind of just remained stable over the years, and actually it's gotten a little better over recent years, so that's good. So it's not like I really, there shouldn't be a fear of me like going blind or anything like that, luckily. So that's good. So yeah, these I totally bent cockeyed, and they're not even straight. Come on now, work with me here. Work with me, Phyllis. Okay, good enough. It is good enough. So, there are my 3 signatures. Where's the camera? Yeah. Ta-da! Gorgeous, right? Okay. Yup. You're just supposed to agree with me. Yup. Okay. So, stapler, go bye-bye. Now, so my plan for this, like I said, is instead of sewing these in, I'm just going to do it flow style, which isn't a big deal because my signatures are stapled together, so I'm not going to have like unruly pages just flopping everywhere. If anything, maybe the whole signature might be a little loose. So my plan is to just tie them in, probably with some twine. So yeah, this is still like, you know, kind of cold and damp and pliable. It's not completely dry. Scissors. I am in need of some new scissors. I've pinched my, they go wonky. I've pinched my skin on these so many times. I've got a couple of old pairs of those Fiskars squeeze handle scissors. I really need to clean my scissors. I've got like adhesive and glue and stuff on them. It's real bad. I need to use some Goo Gone and get those clean. Now, I should probably paint this before I fold it. It would be a lot easier. Just speaking from experience. So, I'm going to throw gesso down too, just to kind of, what's the word, like kind of just blend this all in together, and then I'm still probably going to go back with like the same colors I did on the cover and fill in, but this kind of mutes it all down a little bit so it's not so shocking, I guess is what I would say. You'll still be able to, it'll dry. I say it's not clear. I still say gesso dries kind of semi-clear. So you'll still get to see, and it doesn't take much. This is actually, this is the first time I've tried this gesso. This is Master's Touch from Hobby Lobby. So far, I love it. This huge container, this is 300, I swear it says 32 feet, 32 fluid ounces, not foot ounces. It's 32 ounces of gesso. It normally sells for $14.99, which is not a bad price anyway, because that's the same price that I buy like an 8-ounce bottle of Liquitex gesso for, which I do love my Liquitex, don't get me wrong, but I'm no professional artist. I don't need Liquitex, right? So the point is, anyway, all of their Master's Touch stuff was on sale at Hobby Lobby, and I had to go there and get some get a couple of things for my camper project. I don't even remember what I had to go get. But I ended up buying 2 tubes of the Master's Touch white paint because it was cheaper than the same size or just a tiny bit smaller big bottle of Apple Barrel at Walmart, because I'm just using cheap paint for that project, you know. I use cheap paint for everything. Again, I am no pro here. There's no reason to buy expensive paint. You know, I mean, I like my Delusions and that kind of stuff. But anyway, my point is that, so I ended up getting this like for $6 or $7 for this big old tub of gesso. And so far, I like it a lot. It's nice and thick. It's not watery. It does not smell bad. And so far, there is no yellow, disgusting film on it. I will tell you that I bought a cheapy brand at Michael's. It must have been Artist Loft or something. I bought a tub of gesso there once to try it, and it kept getting this nasty yellow film on the top. Like once I had opened it and peeled off the seal, and even though I would close it and screw the lid on every time, and it smelled terrible. It smelled like dead farts. It was gross. Like, it worked okay, and once it dried, it didn't smell, but I was like, this can't be right. So finally, I just threw it away and went and bought new gesso. But yeah, I was a little worried I'd have the same problem, you know, with this, because it's generic, you know, cheapy stuff, but I love it. So I suggest, if you don't make your own, and I know quite a few of you probably do. I know Stacy over at Pink Poodle Crafts has, I think she makes her own, gesso, and I think she makes her own decoupage, texture paste, all that stuff. She's good at that. I don't have the patience or the time to do that, I guess. So anyway, if you don't make your own, and like me, if you're like me and you're on a budget and you'd rather spend your money on, your crafts money on other pretty things like paper and embellishments, then I highly suggest trying the Master's Touch Gesso from Hobby Lobby, because it's amazeballs. Not gonna lie. Love it. And this stuff dries super fast too, so yeah. Not that gesso takes too long to dry anyway. So, and that just gives it a nice little texture after it's all Mod Podged, which I personally don't think that really affects the paint. Oh, I moved my camera, didn't I? I was going to get this 10 ton of scraps out of my way. I'm an unorganized mess, people. Okay. Get out my way! You know, and it's really tempting to just not keep these, because I don't know, I have lots of scraps, but at the same time, I know better. Like, keep them and put them back in your scrap box, and you will find some use for them. If anything, they can be underpants. I'm not trying to like steal that term from Lori Marie. Gosh, I just love it though. Gersh, I love it. It's so fun. So, yeah, I think those scraps would make good underpanties. I think so. And I think I want this darker color. This is flamenco red. Oh, bless me. That reminds me of an old Counting Crow song. I think in Mr. Jones, don't they talk about a flamenco dancer? I always wondered what in the world is going on here. Okay, come off. Okay, Drippy. Yuck. Okay. So this paint's pretty old, so I'm guessing that's why it's looking kind of gummy here. And so I'm just going to kind of do the same thing again. I'm going to do it a little more sparingly here. So I'm probably just, I squeezed out way too much paint. So I'm going to have to pull out my, my other junk journal and probably do a brush off because, yeah. I just wanted to go a lot lighter on this side so you could still see some of the paper underneath. Of course, this needs full coverage. I want to get rid of all this, all the yellow that I can get rid of here. I'm going to kind of go underneath here. And I will probably just leave that open and use it maybe as a pocket. I know the first journal thing I ever made was out of an envelope. And I had all different sizes of paper in there. And I think I sewed those in. But it was not all uniform size. And so I had like big sheets mixed with little sheets and... it was okay. Every once in a while I'll still get it out. The pages definitely aren't full yet by any means in that one. So I really need to bite the bullet and clean my paint brushes here. So I'm just going to go all along here and kind of get this yellow that I didn't get before. Just go ahead and get all this, just paint it all red. I'm going to layer some more colors on it later I can. And I was too lazy to remove the clasp. I know I've seen how to do it before. I think a couple of people have talked about how to do it, and the last time I did it I tore a big hole in the envelope, which really isn't that big of a deal. I'm not gonna make a fancy closure. I have a couple of those little doorknob thingies. I think it was a Tim Holtz package. I was gonna use them when I was making altered like poison bottles. I made altered bottles for Halloween just as decoration around the house. And I don't know why I didn't gesso this. I bought them for that, and then I ended up, I think, only using one of them on glued one of them to one of my bottle lids. So that would be too big and heavy for a journal this size. They would be good for a hardcover book. I'm drying this a little bit so that I can come back in and maybe put some more. Okay, cord, you and I is gonna has words. Do I want to do red again? Maybe I should. I'll do one more coat of red because it still looks kind of orange. So we'll try cover this up just a little bit more here. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and paint right over that clasp. Who cares? Not me. I don't know. Apparently I've got two different shades of red going here, and that's all right. It's all right. It's okay. I'm going to love it anyway. Yeah. Pretty fancy. I'm going to dry it again, and then I think I'm going to go ahead and do some gold. Oh, and I still got some of that crappy yellow up there. Gosh darn it. It's not bad. It's not bad, but I don't like it. It's not bad, but I don't like it. Yeah. I apologize again for this video angle. I am a huge noob, And I am just starting at this, so I would love to do this regularly. So like I said, I've already kind of started looking into tripods so that I can do the top-down approach like all you professionals do. But we all have to start somewhere, and I even remember several of my beloved YouTubers starting out like this. So I know there will be no hate. Whoo-wee, have I made a mess. There's paint everywhere. That's alright. That's what we're supposed to be doing. Okay. What am I doing here? I don't know. I was going to clean off my mat, but I don't really care. I don't care. I really just don't care. Now I want to put more gold on here. So yeah, I'm just going to keep splotching out paint here. And adding more. Because why not? Because I really want some gold. Yeah. For a little bit of metallic shine. It reminds me of Christmas. The red and the gold. Love it. Love it. So yeah. That's what we're doing. We're doing some gold. We're giving it some shine factor here. And I like probably watered my brush down too much. But that's alright. We're giving it a little bit of shine. I think it looks really good. Loving it. Just to throw some of this metallic in here. So yeah, we're just going to throw some around. And, oops, picked up some red. That's alright. Good. It's all good. Okay. Alright. Dry it again. Have a drink of some Pepsi. Tasty. Just wait till Friday night. Then I'll be drinking some wine. Okay. Okay, so here is the inside of the journal. Yeah, so you can kind of see some of the shine. And then this is the outside cover, which I absolutely am in love with. I love this. Oh, I didn't do anything to the flap yet. What should I do to the flap? Maybe just gold. Although the problem with the gold is it is not very, maybe metallic red. Let's see how that looks. Let me start out with let me finish up this paint that's still sitting over here. Because I got tons out. So I might as well finish this up. And then if I want to go, oops, that's not closed. If I want to go over it with the metallic, that's fine. I can do that if I so choose. And yeah, I'm going right over the edge of where I've already painted, and that's fine. There are no rules, right? Okay. Definitely better. That is some bright red mamma jamma. Again. See how it's looking like. This camera angle is terrible. I don't know. I think maybe I'll just leave it like this. I kind of like that pop of bright red. Yeah, I'm thinking so. I'm thinking so. I've got some rogue paper over here. It wants to come off on me. So I'm gonna have to glue it down. We're gonna have to fix that. You know, I'm just gonna go ahead and be lazy for now. How many times have I said that? I'm gonna be lazy for now. I'm just gonna use some good old glue stick for now. And I will, this is going to be on an edge, so I may come back and like washi tape that for a little bit of trim anyway. We'll see. We'll see. We're still a little damp. I'm getting some red on my fingers, but that's okay. Oh, that's the wrong way. See? Look at me. I don't even know what I'm doing. So what I want to do, and I'm going to kind of slowly mold it to my bidding, since it's not really wet, but it's just that kind of gooey, dampy. So I want to fold it, you know, if I fold it like that, I think I totally mismeasured this, because no, it still fits. We good. But I kind of want to give myself some room in there, I guess. So what I really should do is kind of make myself a spine in here, which, you know, I could actually go through and score it and do it the appropriate way, but who the heck has time for that? Stop leaking bloody red paint on me. Okay, so, there it is. Yeah, and this is the inside of the cover. Yeah, and of course the back. Oh, I love it. I love it. I'm so in love with this. We've got the gold bubble wrap dots, which I'm loving. Yeah. Okay, so this is good. So I may go ahead and tie these in with ribbon. And I realize that the ribbon can't be too thick. So let me see what I've got over here as I pull up my pants. Oh, this would be gorgeous. This would be gorgeous. Yeah, I've got some really wide. This is pretty. I love this. So here is some sparkly red and gold ribbon. And so usually when I go to do this, what I do, and I probably won't have enough for all of these. So I want to make sure that I'm going to have enough to go around and tie. Which I will. Where'd my skizzers go? Well, I just can't keep track of anything. So basically, what I want to do is be able to... I am not worried about it being completely even. At all. And of course, when you do this, it's going to tear up the sides of your, after time, it's going to tear up the sides of your journal, right? So it's going to start to kind of pull at the paper and, you know, make it not as fantastically gorgeous anymore. But So, I mean, I could tie it up at the top if I wanted to. I may just go ahead and tie it in the middle. But I like to do it like this so that I can get a, and it's still not. First of all, this is not going to be like, you know, perfectly centered in the middle because it's gonna move a little bit. And that's all right. But I just like to try to pull this tight. And then I usually kind of, once I kind of get the signature pulled tight, yeah, I know this is, I don't want to get paint on my leggings. I didn't do a great job of wearing old clothes. But usually what I do is, once I kind of get the signature tight in there against the fold, I'll kind of do it like this and normally shake it down a little bit. But like I said, it's gonna bend your envelope, and that's okay with me. I don't care that much. If I were super anal, I would want this to be all perfectly straight. Clearly that's not going to happen. So we are not going to be super anal. And what I'd like to do is get this to knot exactly on the top, which I'm bad at getting things to knot where I want them to as well. But yeah. So, I'm sure you guys are laughing watching me struggle with this. Ooh, just tie the double knot and secure it. There we go. So, it's in. And of course, you know, since I'm not being very careful, my ribbon's not perfectly straight in here and it doesn't lay flat. And so this is going to move in here because, you know, I'm too lazy to sew it in. So, you know, if you ever want to take it out, you can, because it's kind of like a flow journal in that regard. So anyway, I'm not upset about it. I'm good. I'm good. This is my first, not my first journal attempt, but my first, you know, my first December daily, and I'm going to go easy on myself. Because the whole point of this is it's supposed to be stress-free. So I will try, at least in this one, to go in and do the ribbon straight. Because it can be done. It can be done. And then the same thing again. Just coming up this way. And this one I cut much longer. So I'm going to have like some different layers of ribbon, some different lengths, and again, that's okay with me. I like that. I think it makes it look prettier. Yeah, that'd help if I was in the frame. So there's two. So I've got two signatures in here so far, and I'm going to put my last one in. Oh my God. I'm going to put my last one in with something different. And now it's time for something completely different. So I love this ribbon, and it is super, super thick. And you're not supposed to bind journals with super, super thick ribbon. I get it. I get it. I do. Am I going to try it, or am I going to go ahead and cut it in half? What do I, and I think what I'm also going to do, if I can, is go ahead and put this one in between here. Now, I'm wondering if I can get away. I'm not worried about the loss of space in the book at all. See, I don't have a problem with this at all. Some of you might. Of course, if you're having a problem with that, you're already going to have a problem with the fact that your envelope is bending because you're tying this stuff up against this paper and it's bending it, right? I don't care. Tight. Ugh. Tell me that is not fantastic. Now I just go ahead and run this along here. kind of make that ribbon mind me a little bit. Put my foot down. All right, so I do need to fix, so it's crunched it a little much here so that it's not folding quite right. Quick finger in there, readjust it, good to go. Ladies and gentlemen, drum roll please. Here is my journal. This is for my December daily. I think it's completely adorable. So, recap. Because, you know, I'm awesome like that. Oh my gosh, I've already almost been recording an hour since the last time I came back on. Okay, so here's my binding, my ribbon, which I love. I think it's gorgeous. Here's my front cover. Here's my back cover and my flippy flap. And so you open it up and there's the inside cover. Obviously there's a lot more I'll do to it, but here's my first signature. It can slide right out. So it's more flow style. That's fine with me. I'm lazy. We've already established that. So yeah, it's all this, no offense to anybody who might like it, but ugly old scrapbook paper that I have no use for. So the next thing I'll be doing is basically going through and just putting a coat of gesso down probably on most of this. And then decorating it with things that I gather this month. I think I've already got some stuff to put in there. And some stuff to talk about. So hopefully my next video, will be maybe a page. I can't do it tonight. I mean, I'm old. And I have to go to work tomorrow. And it's hard enough for me to go to work. So, yeah. Yeah, I can see where that thick ribbon causes a little bit of a problem. I love it though. I think it looks so pretty. I guess I could take it out and cut it down a little bit. But when you go to like fold that over, you kind of have to dink with it a minute. But again, not expecting perfection. So it's a junk journal. I'm going to use it to document my December of 2018. So that's it. Thanks for watching. And thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. And if you like my yakking and snorting and being unorganized, please subscribe and like the video. And check out the other videos, the other YouTubers who have inspired me, and that I'm sure you already know them, but I've linked them, and I hope you check them out. And I hope to see you again soon. Have a great day.